Here. All right. Okay. We will have time after presentations to interact further with the groups before the showcase ends at 4 p.m. today. As a reminder, we will hold time between each presentation for questions and feedback from our judges. Those judges include Christina Blake from Sierra Interactive, Rashida Collins from Pfizer, Jaden Sanders from Comcast, Williams from JP Morgan Chase, and Sylvester Mobley from Plainside Capital. And now I will hand it over to our fearless leader, our CEO of Coded By, Danae Mobley, to give an overview of the afternoon, the student presentations. Please welcome Danae to the stage.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. Really excited for all of you to be here. You're here at the end of a journey. This has been a culmination of 8 weeks of hard work by some amazing students that we've seen over this summer. So happy that they've been able to come into the Coded By family and learn more about themselves, their journey into tech. So I'm excited for you to see the progress. Their work has been amazing, but what's also has been leads. So our team leads are students that have been in the Coded By family for 3 to 4 years now. They started in academy positions, and they have now been the day-to-day mentors that have been helping interns. So if you just stand up for a second, just so we can also give you a round of applause and a thank you. And a thank you. There's more of you. Thank you. Hillary, just what students did beyond these pitches, because like I said, these pitches are the last thing you're seeing. There were actually that students were in UI, UX, product management, or web devs, and each one of these folks helped lead them in their journey. So I just want them to tell you a little bit about it.
So hi everyone, my name is Hillary and I was the UI UX team lead for this summer's program. I just want to start off by prefacing that a lot of the interns came in this summer with very little to no UI UX experience. It was our job as the UI UX team to fill in that knowledge. So our workshops covered a wide range of topics, starting off with a heavy emphasis on user experience, so user research, user flows, and information architecture. And then they used this research to incorporate into their wireframes, prototypes, which you guys were able to interact with back there. And this was many of them's first interaction with Figma. Hold on, let me pull up my notes here. Sorry. Throughout their entire projects, they did a lot of iterating, not only because of the feedback we gave them as team leads, but because they actually stepped out and conducted their own usability tests. They learned a lot. They did a lot of iterating, and from this constant iterating, they were able to achieve the seamless UI UX that you could see in their prototypes and their coded out MVPs.
Thank you, Hillary. My name is Amadin. I was the development lead, as well as I partaked a lot in the validation role as well. I'm going to touch on validation just for a little bit. With validation, we really emphasized to start identifying problems that a lot of underserved or underrepresented people that they kind of face. I know a lot of the projects that you'll see either talk about like financial illiteracy or maybe pharmacy deserts. So tried to do was to notice before thinking and try to find those unmet needs before, just so we can really validate if the problem exists. Now, when it comes to development of or some object-oriented programming, but this includes React, and so React is front-end development, back-end development, and databases, and that entire development flow. And I'm very happy of the actual progress they made in such little time.
Hey, hello, everyone. My name is Lennon. To see familiar faces, new faces. Thank you guys so much for coming out here. I'm going to speak a little bit about the product management curriculum, but before I begin, I just want to emphasize, here at Coded by Kids, we're about training our students to create businesses, right? Build equity into the world. And to do that, you have to have your own business. So for a lot of our students here, this was their first time actually sitting down 10 weeks thinking about, if I were to create something in the world, something to add value, how am I going to do that? How am I going to partner and collaborate with other people? What problem am I going to solve? And how is that going to translate into my design? And how am I going to develop that? So for my students here, can you guys raise a hand? Is this your first business that you guys ever created? See a lot. The first time ever creating their business. And so for the product manager curriculum, for all my PMs out there, those who work in software, the most important things is how do we get customers? And how do we ship features, right? We have to build things that people need, things that solve real problems. So for us, it was a lot about, all right, who are our users? What problems do we have? Talking to them, and how is that going to translate building? I'm really proud of what the students have here created. They started from scratch, from first day. We didn't give them any ideas, and we just guided them through this entire process. But a lot of this was autonomous and driven by their own personal motivation and determination. So I'm incredibly proud of what they were able to build today and to share what they're going to be, and share their pitches with you as well. So thank you again so much for coming out. And again, thank you to Danae and the CBK.
Thank you all. Appreciate that. Can we slide? Thank you. I got it. That's all right. So, of course, I would be remiss without thanking all of our sponsors that make this possible. See an amazing list of supporters that are on the screen. So, of course, thank you to JP Morgan Chase, who's here with us today, Comcast, the NBA Foundation, Comic Relief, Salesforce. We are here at Sierra Interactive, so also thank you for that venue support, SEI, and Infinite Blue. So all of these community partners coming together, making sure that this experience is here for our young people. One more slide. The last thing I just wanted to touch on was the fact that, yes, there are a lot of technical skills that students learned this past summer, but there are also a lot of communication, collaboration, real-life industry-relevant things that students did. So going up to New York, being able to go to Uber, going to SEI, going to JP Morgan Chase, Comcast, we went everywhere this summer. So what I hope is that all of these experiences tied together are really creating a memorable summer for all of you, but hopefully propelling you forward into your next step in tech and innovation. So I'm gonna get out of the way because you didn't come to see me, you came to see these students. So I'm gonna go ahead and give the mic back to Damon so we can get to the presentations. But thank you again for being here.
All right, are we ready to get the presentation started? That was a little too weak. That was a little too weak. It is Thursday afternoon. It's almost Friday. Are we ready to get the presentation started? Yeah. There we go. There we go. First group has designed a revolutionary budget designed specifically for young adults. So, Star, Spencer, and Ashay. Al.
Hello everyone, I'm Ashay Gupte. I'm the web developer of this team.
My name is Gideon Deo. I'm a UI UX designer.
My name is Spencer Lavelle. I'm also the UI UX designer.
Last but not least, my name is Eleazar, and I am the founder and the web developer for our app, Cash Cow. We make your budget simplified.
Thank you for the introduction. Let's get a quick raise of hands. How many people in here have been involved with it? I should see every hand up. Doesn't matter if you're 12, you've borrowed money from your friend. I'd like to introduce my friend Leo. Leo is a 23-year-old college graduate, University of Pennsylvania. From his laptop, Um, and he graduated with almost $30,000 in debt because of college. And unfortunately for Leo, he is not financially savvy. Now, imagine where there are 13 million Leos. Well, you don't have to imagine that because, unfortunately, in America alone, there are 13 million people in debt just because of college. I'd like to bring attention to the graphic that right there. Okay, that graphic right there that you guys are seeing is only 168 stick people. Now imagine 13 million real people in debt.
So this locks into our vision. We want to empower young adults to achieve financial freedom by managing their money in a effective and engaging way. So as you can see, as Leo logs in, he's greeted with a very beautiful and simple UI where everything for him is centralized. He'll be able to see his bank balances, his budgets, but most importantly, he'll be able to track his loans like college and credit card loans. And we wanted to make managing finances less daunting for young adults, so we've included a gamified version. So as Leo logs into this ranking page, he'll be a part of a leaderboard and point system. And he'll be able to compete with his friends, complete certain tasks, and rise the leaderboard. And achievements are a very rewarding feeling, so we wanted to invoke a fun way of managing finances. So we've included an achievements page as well.
As Eleazar just showcased, our app is an easy, simple, and intuitive way to manage your finances. We designed this specifically for college adults with loans, as they are impacted greatly by debt. This is apparent as students borrow an average of $40,000 to even afford college. And half of these students graduate with around $30,000 of debt. I don't know about you guys, but that seems scary to me, especially as I'm going into college next year. Now you might be asking, why now? Well, it's an extremely important issue as college costs continue to rise and are 40% higher than they were in the year 2000. This is reflected by students' growing concerns, with 73% of Gen Z reporting financial worry. This shows that young adults desire financial stability, and that's why we created Cash Cow, to help them grow financially and reach financial stability.
Now, real quick, I'd like to introduce our competitors. First, we have Credit Karma. Everyone has heard of Credit Karma at this point. They've been in the game for quite a while. They are a credit score servicer, where they tell you your credit score. And then secondly, we have Rocket Money. I'm going to get rid of the mic. Secondly, we have Rocket Money, right, which, as they say, is an app where you can manage all of your subscriptions at once. Thank you. Thank you so much. Then we have Monarch Money, which is an app for families and couples to manage their finances. So for like the four of us and some people in the audience, it has no use for obvious reasons. So what makes us different from our competitors? Next slide. First, I'd like to, well, we are not just a budgeting app, we are a live loan tracking app. Now, you see live loan tracking here, and you see live and the word 6 hours. 6 hours doesn't sound very live, does it? But compared to our competitors, who update every 24 hours, 6 hours is quite an upgrade. Like, imagine buying a t-shirt and having to wait 24 hours to see that you bought it. Secondly, as Eli touched on, we gamified the experience and did the impossible. We made budgeting and paying back your loans fun through our ranking system and scoreboard system. And secondly, as young people, we understand that we can get overwhelmed with a lot of information at once, right? So, as Gen Zs, we simplified the UI to, one, make it easy to understand, and two, not overwhelm our users. So that leads me to my next point. Why should it be the four of us, me, Ashay, Gideon, and Eli, to be the ones to develop it? Well, first, I'd like to get a little bit personal right now. Currently, I'm going to the University of Pittsburgh, and I'm $16,000 in debt right now, just from college. And Eli is not far behind me, and unfortunately for the two of them, it's only a matter of time. And secondly, despite the two of us being in college and the two of them in high school, all four of us are Gen Zs, so we know what we want. We know how to make an app and garner it towards the younger generation. Secondly, we also know what we don't know. financial literacy.
So just like Eleazar showed us in the dashboard, our free users have access to our loan tracking and our budgeter. Additionally, they can access the ranking system, which allows them to compete against their friends and gain badges for completing financial tasks. On the other hand, our premium users have access to all of that and our personalized financial goals. So who here has set like a financial goal before? So with Cash Cow, we would help you achieve this financial goal in a certain time span through helping you budget in a certain way. Additionally, we have financing options. We learned for new financial users, it can be hard to know which loans to pay off first. There's like many things to learn, including interest rates and minimum payments. So we help simplify this process for you. Lastly, we also have an AI chatbot for personal questions and a calendar tracker for a seamless integration into your calendar app and Google Calendar.
Now that we've gone over pricing, let's talk about revenue. As Spencer said, there are 13 million Americans in debt, and we want to target 20% of those Americans, which will be around 2.6 million. And we estimate that about 5% of them will buy our premium subscription, which leads us to around 130,000 premium users. And each of them will be paying $8, which leads us to 1 million in monthly recurring revenue and around 12 million in annual recurring revenue.
So how are we going to achieve this? So in the pre-launch phase, we validated our problem by going to colleges in the greater Philadelphia area. And we learned that this is a really real problem, and we were able to gain over 200 signups onto our platform. Soon, we're looking to launch this platform to around 5,000 users in the Philadelphia area. As Spencer said, we know that Gen Z is really connected to social media. So we're going to expand through content marketing and grow our user base even further. Lastly, we want to expand to the rest of the East Coast and iterate off of user feedback so that we can penetrate the market and have a larger share.
So we're asking for $200,000 for our product, and as you can see, we're going to use $70K for production, $70K for operational use, $40K for marketing, and $20K for reserve. And I just wanted to end this off as Cash Cow isn't just a simple app. It's a transformative financing tool aimed to empower young adults towards their financial stability. Cash Cow, your budget simplified. Thank you.
I'd also like to add, our LinkedIns are on the bottom. Me and Eli are really trying to grind our connections, so feel free to add us on LinkedIn.
Me too, I only have 11.
Yo, I have one, so I really need it. Me too.
Yeah, questions?
Very good presentation.
Thank you.
So my question would be, what are your top 3 risks, and how are you going to mitigate the risk that you see for your company?
One of our risks is we're using third-party platforms like Plaid and Slate, and we have to make sure our transactions with those APIs are correct and there's no errors in those transactions.
Also, the second risk would probably be the colleges themselves because they're putting the information here. And like Gideon touched on, we're going to apply certain security measures with secure but I don't have a third risk right now.
Presentation. And I really like to see how focused and not saying the app is simple, but it's very focused and it's a lot of feature work, which I appreciate. What were some of the things you maybe thought about and decided not to add into your MVP, thinking you might envision as future features later?
I would say the biggest feature that we had, we actually had like 2 projects when we started. We had 2 ideas. The first one was think like Duolingo for financial literacy, because we wanted to be smarter as well. And the second was, well, and so we actually tried to merge the two of them, and we realized it's too much to handle. It's probably going to be too much for the user. So we took that out, and that was a feature that we cut out altogether.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
So you had 130,000 users.
Mm-hmm.
This is top down market size. What would be your next steps to validate how large your market really is?
We're probably going to expand towards along the East Coast, close by, and we're probably going to also do some more usability testing and more user outreach towards different cities like New York, Virginia, etc., and probably go to different communities and colleges as well through there. Probably. Yeah, we didn't include it in the slideshow because of time reasons, but there's going to be an option for them. If you know what Plaid API is, it works with different banks. We're going to work with them, we're going to contact with them and apply that API so it's a seamless integration towards their bank accounts, basically. Yeah. And all the information that we pull from the Plaid API will be explained just as we did for our dashboard that was up there for our demo.
Really great presentation. I'm just interested in learning more about why you decided to exclude non-generational folks, and the assumption that adults would help their children, young people, be able to learn more about financial literacy. Can you talk to us about the reason behind that and how you plan to, bring the past generations into the app to help grow your market share?
We wanted to focus on the young generation because like we understand the young generation. So like when we start simplified, since it's like our competitors, they generally go for like general people. But we wanted to niche into the young generation and grow from there. And then once we reach there, we can branch out possibly. But we're targeting just the young generation right now. Our time is up. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Cash Cow. I got two mics. I'm gonna see which one works the best. Man. We'll see what goes. All right, this one sounds a little.
Test, test.
Much better. Oh, we got live. Okay.
Just hold it like a mic.
Sure. Oh yeah. Oh, this is like doing interviews on Instagram. Okay. All right. Great. All right. So our next group coming to the presentation. This group has developed a social impact startup that addresses the growing inaccessibility of medicine due to the worsening effects of pharmacy deserts. Connect Care offers medication delivery services and virtual telehealth. Please welcome Alana and Otuba.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all for your time today. I'd just like to pose a question to the group. Who here enjoys spending time with their loved ones? We do too. That's why at Connect Care, we want to make sure that time lasts as long as possible. Sorry, guys. 1 second. By connecting loved ones to care in every community, we envision a world where technology and innovation bridges the gap of healthcare equity in the U.S. for marginalized communities. My name is Alana Vasquez, and I'm a UI UX designer for Connect Care and a rising senior at Temple University with experience in business administration and technology.
My name is Olutoba Ojo. I'm a rising sophomore at Lehigh University studying computer science, and I'm the product manager for this team.
Since living on Temple's campus, I was able to witness the rippling effects of rapidly closing pharmacies in urban areas. Large neighboring communities to our campus, like North Philadelphia, Allegheny West, and Strawberry Mansion, are all large pharmacy deserts being hurt specifically by Rite Aid's financial troubles this year. I was also able to meet many loved ones like Miss Penny Fleur, who is losing easy access to medications due to the worsening effects of pharmacy deserts. Miss Penny has to take SEPTA all the way across Philadelphia to get her blood pressure medication. And while she is a very patient woman, she gets tired of the high transportation costs and the long waits at the pharmacies, making it difficult for her to stay consistent on her medication for longer than 2 months. Research shows that this feeling is not uncommon, with enhanced geographic barriers to pharmacies proving to have a negative impact on medication adherence rates. A study from NBC Philadelphia found that when pharmacies close in a community, older adults are more likely to stop getting their prescriptions. Further desk research also finds that there are about 100,000 people just like Penny Fleur in Philadelphia alone who need our services. That's where Connect Care comes in. We offer a solution for online medication delivery services to residents of pharmacy deserts and other areas with limited access. Our startup partners with local pharmacies to expand the area of reach for health resources like medication delivery services, virtual consultations with professionals, and relevant health information. So say Miss Penny Fleur wanted to order her prescription rather than taking SEPTA. She would simply log into her account and search for her medication. She'll be provided the option to either contact a doctor for a prescription or to upload a prescription she's already received. From there, she can either upload a prescription on our site or book a consultation with a professional. Once the prescription has been sent to the pharmacist and it's been confirmed, she can now set up her delivery. She can either pay the standard delivery fee or pay expedited delivery for $25, depending on how quickly she needs her medication. Once delivery has been confirmed and the prescription has been filled, Ms. Penny will receive a notification that a screen driver has been assigned to pick up her medication from the pharmacy and deliver it to her home. So she has more time to spend with her loved ones and less time worrying about her medicine.
So what type of customer are we appealing to? The first are residents of pharmacy deserts. These are typically the older populations, the grandparents, and the loved ones, those that risk or need our services the most. About 1 in 4 neighborhoods across the entire country are considered pharmacy deserts. So not only is this a relevant problem, but these are also relevant people. Our second target customer are low-income and minority communities. Most pharmacy deserts occur within these communities, exacerbating systemic issues for marginalized communities nationwide. 8.3 million Black and Latino residents live in these pharmacy deserts. Our goal is to get our care to those that need our help the most.
To get into our market size, we have a total addressable market of 15 million people, representing the people in the US who rely on pharmacies for their medication. Given that about 20% of this population live in pharmacy deserts and are the low-income and minority communities that we're trying to target, we have about 3 million residents across the US who need access to our services. With this market size, we're hoping to make about $45 million per year and $45 million per month and $540 million per year.
So who's our competition? As you can see, we have 2 direct competitors. The first one's Amazon Pharmacy. Amazon, as you know, it's a big name out there. They've expanded to pharmacy as well with their online platform, Amazon Rx. You can sign on, input your information, follow their ordering protocol, and get your medications delivered to your door. Likewise, we have Cost Plus Drugs by Mark Cuban. If you know him, Shark Tank. He also has his own online pharmacy platform too. A couple of pros. Number 1 is that they're accessible. The fact that they're digital means that users can sign on with a mobile, a laptop, use any platform and access it from anywhere. The second is that they have delivery. These companies partner with drivers to deliver the drugs from pharmacy straight to your door. The last is their scale. These companies have been established for a long time, but this also doubles as a con. The fact that they're large means that they can't target disadvantaged communities all that well, which is where we come in. They lack the personal touch and the community focus. So what do we bring to the table? A major component of our value proposition is our community identity. We're a social impact-driven startup. We're aiming to target low-income minority individuals in the greater Philadelphia area. This is a huge selling point for us. The fact that we're operating in such a specialized segment of the market means that we have a major competitive advantage over the likes of Cost Plus Drugs and Amazon Pharmacy. We have a chance to completely dominate this niche just due to the fact that these companies are not reaching out to these underserved communities. Our local partnerships and community focus means that we're gonna have a more personalized and trustworthy service in comparison to our competitors. In the future, we can imagine an acquisition strategy where we're working in tandem with these companies. They can work on a larger scale across America, while we can work in these smaller niches. In other words, working with these industry giants and smaller local dwarfs towards the same common goal. So why should you invest in us now? Number one is the growing digital telemedicine industry. With the rapid adoption of digital solutions, now is the perfect time to leverage technology to enhance online personalized healthcare access. Sorry. And, excuse me. The market is growing at a compound annual growth rate of about 24.3%, and that's projected to reach about $455.27 billion US dollars by 2023, excuse me, sorry. So how are we gonna get these customers? So for our initial launch, we're gonna focus on our platform signups. We're aiming to reach about 500 people and get about 10% user signups. We're also planning on using Facebook ads to target our users and to get our name out there. For our second stage, we're gonna be focusing on expanding ourselves, and we're gonna be aiming on reaching 5,000 people, increasing our user signups to about 20%, and we're gonna be aiming to get 15% deliveries done. Lastly, we're gonna be working on scaling ourselves, and for this, we're aiming to retain 50% of our new users and aim to increase our deliveries done by 15%. So we're operating as on a two-sided marketplace. That means we're gonna be the middleman between local pharmacies and our users. For our users, it's gonna be $5.99 per user per month, and we're operating on a subscription and tiered delivery fee model. $5.99 per month per user per month ensures that we're gonna have reliable access to their medications. And in addition to that, we're gonna be providing them with a free standard delivery with the option of a paid expedited delivery for faster service. On the other hand, for pharmacies, we're gonna be, for pharmacies, it's gonna be $10 per pharmacy per month. It's gonna be $10 per pharmacy per month. This is gonna increase their reach and ensure that they have better services. For pharmacies, $10 per month is a minimal investment to ensure they're staying competitive and connected within their community, ensuring that their services are vital and accessible. Now onto our ask of use and funds. Currently, we're envisioning a total ask of about $200K. Our first ask is gonna be for marketing outreach. This is gonna constitute for about 40% of our total budget. We're planning on initiating marketing campaigns to get our name out there to our users. Our second ask is gonna be for service development. This is gonna constitute for about 35% of our budget, and we're gonna use this to improve our platform, streamline our delivery process, and introduce our telemedicine platform. Our last and final ask is gonna be for partnership development. That way, as we're growing, we're reaching out with local pharmacies and local companies to promote our name, excuse me. So as we close, I would just like to leave you guys with our mission. Please join us as we strive to create an equitable world where individuals have access to the healthcare and medications that they need. Thank you.
Great job, guys. Question that I have for you on the pharmacy side, since it seems like you're going after what I'm assuming are smaller local pharmacies, what are the risks or opportunities that you see for larger pharmacies like CVS or Walgreens that already offer telehealth and prescription delivery?
I'm sorry, so you asked, are we catering more towards small independent pharmacies or the larger chain brands?
Yeah, so I'm assuming that you are catering towards smaller pharmacies. So my question to you is, how do you plan to address the risk or opportunity of large pharmacies like CVS, who they already offer telehealth and prescription delivery?
Well, most of the research that I found throughout this process was that most big chain pharmacies are going out of business after already putting smaller independent pharmacies out of business. So it's important to recognize that we need to be competitive with these things, but also that these larger companies are catering to the people who are being left out. So in the pharmacy, if you could solve from our map of North Philadelphia and the pharmacy deserts, there are about a couple CVS's, which are the main prominent pharmacies in the area. So if we work with them under the acquisition strategy that we talked about before, we're hoping to kind of integrate the big brand who caters to most people and the small demographic through us, if that makes sense.
Great presentation. My concern or ask would be, you were heavy on the minority and underserved. Did you consider this being a nonprofit? And two, I didn't see a social impact for the community that you were looking to serve, the seniors and the minorities. So what was your thought about excluding your philanthropic in the presentation?
See that first question again, sorry.
Had you considered this, or did you ever consider this to be a nonprofit? And then second, I did see a line item for philanthropic for the community that you were saying that you were servicing. It seemed more profit-driven, and there wasn't a line item to give back. So had you considered that?
We did not consider a nonprofit model yet. I think one thing that we were concerned about is ensuring that we're going to be sustainable with our expenses and fixed costs and all those things. So we didn't consider a nonprofit model because we want to make sure that our finances are sorted out. And can you repeat your second question? Sorry.
If you hadn't thought about it, I would say add a line item for philanthropic, because it was very heavy on you wanted to serve the minorities, you wanted to serve the seniors, but there wasn't a philanthropic effort to give back to those that you were profiting off.
Okay.
Great job. I have a two-part question. For the deliveries, those delivery drivers, are you hiring them or contractors? How does that work?
So we would be hiring them. We were kind of taking ideas from competitors, from indirect competitors like Uber Health, who just basically provides transportation services for like health reasons. So we were kind of basing that off of providing opportunities to have background checked drivers to make it secure for delivery, to kind of earn an income while also, catering to the demographic that's mostly left out.
Could you talk a little bit about how you would operationally scale that and the cost? Because that wasn't in the slide, but labor is always your largest cost.
Do you want to hit on that, Toba? On our operational plan?
So you talked about scaling drivers.
So, yeah, you're hiring drivers. How do you scale that? And how do you handle the cost of that?
For scaling, I'm not sure if we could worry about that right now because the nature of our business was that we're appealing to people in the Philadelphia area. But if we were scaling, I guess that would also mean that we're expanding to different cities too in Pennsylvania. And then the latter part, what was your last? I'm sorry.
How would you handle the cost? And I'm going to give some feedback before.
Okay.
If you go from 2 to 4, you're scaling. It doesn't matter whether you're still in Philadelphia or whether you're going outside of Philadelphia. If you're hiring more drivers, you're scaling your drivers. So Philadelphia or outside of Philadelphia, you have to consider what that looks like. And then how do you handle the cost? How do you control your cost with hiring more people?
So we do have a subscription model for, or we're going to talk about our revenue for our customers. So we have a subscription model so they can have standard delivery so they don't have to pay the delivery fee. But say they wanted to have expedited delivery, so it would be an extra charge. So part of that delivery charge is being taken out to service these operations. And since it's such a small area that we're trying to target right now, we don't really expect our costs to be that high. So that's why our revenue is about $6 per customer. Does that make sense? Yeah, we weren't able to do too much research into the pharmaceutical, how they make money, but most medications are covered by insurance, so we kind of considered that when figuring out our delivery charges, because that's the main way we were making money, was delivery charges and subscription. But most of the cost of drugs is covered by insurance, and hopefully by working with these pharmacies, they'll kind of guide our way towards working with other healthcare providers and, you know, solving other problems in the community in this area.
Okay, now, next up. This duo is working to help people with food allergies and dietary preferences find dining options. Safe Plate, a world where every plate is safe to eat. Welcome, Ava and Ohona.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for your time today. My name is Ohona Raman and I'm the UI UX designer.
My name is Ava Sadam and I'm the web developer. And we are SafePlate. All right, I have a question for everybody in the room. How many of you have a food allergy, such as an allergy to peanuts, or an intolerance like lactose intolerance? Now how many of you know somebody who does? Everybody. So I do too. I'd like you to meet Amelia. She is my friend who has a severe gluten and dairy intolerance. Whenever Amelia consumes gluten, she'll have severe stomach issues and migraines, which would take her out of school for a couple of days at a time. So one time, Amelia and I wanted to go out to eat together. And I remember we spent over an hour reading restaurants, reading reviews, researching, but by the end of the hour, we were just as confused as when we started. Even worse, the restaurant we picked was entirely gluten-free, and Amelia ended up having a negative reaction to the food.
And as we saw, Amelia's not the only one with this problem. People with food allergies, intolerances, and dietary restrictions consistently struggle to find suitable dining options.
This is a painful problem, and there are a couple of reasons why this occurs. First, restaurants consistently have undertrained and underinformed employees. They don't know much about cross-contamination or how to best inform their customers about what to eat. Secondly, there is a lack of reliable information online. So people who do have these food allergies often feel anxiety and frustration whenever they want to dine out. Lastly, there is no strong method to hold these restaurants accountable for accommodating a wide range of needs. In fact, only 5 states in the US have required allergen training for their employees.
So let's take a look at the numbers. About 10% of the global population has food allergies, and that's 33 million Americans. And annually, there's about 200,000 emergency visits a year due to food allergic reactions. And everyone who has a food allergy, people who have food allergies additionally spend about $4,000 on costs such as emergency room visits, doctor visits, medication, and alternative options. And that's a 30% increase in living costs just because you have a food allergy.
In addition to the desk research that Ohona just covered, we conducted our own study of around 50 people, and we found that over half of them wasted up to 30 minutes trying to find a dining option.
And from that same study, 68% reported that they had an allergic reaction at a restaurant, even though they notified their server of their food allergy. And this is where SafePlate comes in. Our vision is a world where everyone can find safe dining options.
To achieve our vision, Ohona and I have created the app SafePlate, which helps people who have dietary preferences find accommodating dining options. So, let's take Amelia, who would be one of our target customers, and help her to find pasta that is gluten and dairy-free. First, Amelia will start by creating an account. Then, she will enter important information, such as username, password, and of course, her allergens. As you can see, SafePlate has a wide range of allergens, intolerances, and dietary preferences to pick from. After entering her information, Amelia is now free to search for pasta near her and browse restaurant options that can accommodate her specific needs. When selecting a restaurant, Amelia can browse the menu, read suggestions from AI about what to eat, and read community reviews. Additionally, Amelia can also order online through our app or book a table. Amelia has successfully found pasta that is gluten-free, dairy-free, and delicious.
So we did a lot of research on the market, and we have a few competitors. There's DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Yelp. There are indirect competitors because they only have a few filters for allergens or dietary needs, and that's where our main competitor comes in, Fig. Fig is an allergen food scanner app centered around grocery stores. Though it is a very useful app, it does have its cons. It has poor user experience. When you first download the app, try to create an account, or just navigate through the app, it's very bombarding and very complex to use. And the reason why they're a main competitor is because, as I said, they're a grocery store-centered app, but they're expanding to restaurants, but they're only covering fast food chains. And they're costly to use at $7.49 a month.
What sets us apart from Fig and our other competitors is first, we will accommodate a wider range of needs. This will help us to reach more people and overall have a greater impact on the world. Secondly, we are looking to focus on these locally owned restaurants. As Ohana said, Fig is only covering nationwide food chains, which already have a good amount of information online. We are looking to fill the information gaps for these local restaurants and create communities surrounding them. Through this, we will also help to hold the restaurants accountable and reward the ones that are using safe practices.
So you might be thinking, why now? There has been a 50% increase in food allergies in the United States from 2007 to 2021, and there's a high cost for alternatives. People pay much more for accommodating their food allergy, and an increase in allergic reactions. Over the last decade, the rate of allergic reactions at restaurants has tripled, and it only continues to rise.
This is the perfect time to go to market, and we are using a product-led approach for this. First, we are in our pre-launch phase right now, and we are looking to generate interest in the local Philadelphia area. For our launch phase, we're going to launch our app to Philadelphia people here. And for these first two phases, our main methods of marketing will be through content marketing on social media, email marketing, and as well as community outreach. For our post-launch phase, we are looking to expand our app to the entire Northeast region and eventually the United States as a whole.
And for our pricing strategy, we're using a freemium model, so there's two types of users. For our free users, they search for the basic account where they manually select their allergens. But for our premium users who pay $4.99 a month, they search as a user, and when they create their account, they put in all of their allergens as a one-time thing and save onto their account. And they have a personalized experience with AI-curated suggestions based on their likes and dislikes. Save and favorite restaurants feature, where they could save their favorite restaurants or favorite dishes, and it'll be set aside for them to visit at any time. And partnership deals. When we collaborate with brands or different restaurants, and if they have special promotions or discounts, they're able to partake in that.
To give you an idea on our market size and what our user base looks like, worldwide, 795 million people have a food allergy or an intolerance. In the US, this is 33 million people. Based on our research, our estimated customer base could be 15 million throughout the US. Now, using that, along with our lifetime value, our market size could be up to $900 million, which will really help us to impact millions of Amelias across the US. Now, in order to help these Amelias, we are looking to raise $300,000 to accelerate our product development, increase our market share, and expand our user base, with a goal of reaching $1 million in annual recurring revenue by the fourth quarter of 2025. With these funds, half will go towards development, 20% will be towards marketing and operational expenses, and the last 10 will be held in reserves.
And with these funds, we'll be able to achieve our mission, to provide a safe dining experience for everyone. Like as we saw in the audience, and Amelia is not the only one, having an allergy is outside of our control.
But SafePlate can help you to alleviate stress on time, food, and money, allowing you to focus on what matters most. Safe Plate, a world where every plate is safe to eat.
Thank you. If you have any questions, please let us know. And please connect with us on LinkedIn.
That was awesome. So my first question and my only question is the direct to customer experience was really interesting. I'm curious if you all considered the direct to business experience and how that could be leveraged.
So on the business side, restaurants, of course, want to alleviate risks with having their customers have an allergic reaction at their restaurant. So our app will really help to hold these restaurants accountable and make sure that they do have safe practices so that no one has an allergic reaction at their restaurant. Additionally, as Ohona said, with the partnership deals, restaurants will benefit because they'll get more customers. And of course, as people leave more reviews on the app, their restaurants will be boosted and they'll have more customers, make more money, and so forth.
Great job. How do you manage the potential liability if someone eating at a restaurant having an allergic reaction after finding the restaurant?
So we aren't like 100% accurate, of course. Like there's always room for error, but our goal is to use our community to help us boost those restaurants that are known for their safe practices. And if those things do occur, it is really restaurant specific, and we're doing our best to help spread information on the reliable restaurants that we do find.
Great presentation, guys. This was a problem that really resonated with me, with a lot of family members who have allergies. I'm curious for your business model. It seems like the goal is to push the cost onto customers. I saw that you evaluated Yelp and considered them as a competitor. Is there a reason why you chose not to use an aggregator business model? And for a little bit of background, what that means is when the way Yelp makes money is most of their listings are free, and a restaurant or a business is the one who they pay for special listings. So when someone is looking for it, it goes to the top. So I'm curious, what made you decide to focus on customers as, how you make money?
So a couple of reasons why we chose that. For Fig, they are pushing their costs onto customers, and so are many other apps. So that's really the easiest way for us to make money. But additionally, we will make money through businesses, as if they want to make partnership deals or boost their restaurant through our app, they'll have to pay us. So we will make money through that. Eventually, we're hoping that we can lower our costs because we're really trying to be user-centric with our app. But as it is right now, $4.99 is like as low as we can go to stay competitive, gain customers, but also not overcharge people. Thank you, guys. Oh, sorry. Okay, thank you.
Great presentation. Okay. Our next group is aiming to expedite the publishing process. Team TechnoTales presents PenPath, a web app that can edit full-length manuscripts in minutes. Welcome Deborah, Vanessa, and Dia. Yeah. Look at the coordination. The color coordination is great. Great job, guys. There you go. This is the microphone with that.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Vanessa Koku. I am the product manager of PenPath.
Hi, my name is Dia. I'm the web developer.
My name's Deborah. I'm the UI UX designer.
And we are PenPath, which is a digital platform which utilizes AI to help writers bring their creations to life. Now, before we get into it, let me ask you all, how many of you have either written a book, thought about writing one, or have read a book before? Okay. Now, what if I told you it took possibly 2 years for that book to be fully developed into what you read today or what you've possibly written before? Wow. All right. I'd like to introduce you to my friend Zuri. Zuri is a 29-year-old customer service agent who's been writing for 10 plus years in hopes of one day making writing her full-time job. However, Zuri has a small budget which hinders her from the many resources that she needs to take writing to its full extent. She wants to be able to make her passion into her full-time job. Now, Zuri is faced with lengthy publishing times. It took her almost 3 years to write her first draft, which she's been working on writing for 10 years. It took her 3 years to just publish that first draft. She wants to be able to alleviate these publishing times so that they can be cut down into a shorter amount of time so she can put out more work. She also wants to make writing her full-time job. However, she's not able to rely on writing. It typically takes 2 to 3 years, for a book to be fully published, and 1 to 3 of those months it goes towards editing. And for a part-time writer, they get paid about $6,080, but full-time writers get paid $20,300. So with these numbers in mind, Zuri's not able to really rely on this writing to take it full-time and make her passion into her job. She also is faced with high editing costs. Like I mentioned before, she has a small budget, so she's not able to afford all the resources that she does need. It's usually between $2,000 and $4,000 for the publishing process and at least $1,000 for editing alone, which cuts greatly into her small budget that she has. We want to be able to create a world where every author like Zuri has all the tools that they need to publish their stories and make them successful so that they can create new pathways to success and creativity. Now, we want to use AI to achieve all the many things that Zuri is looking for. We want to cut these editing times down into weeks to months instead of the typical years that it takes. We also want to be able to increase the output. With these shorter editing times, Zuri and her friends will be able to write more books, which we'll be able to put out in a shorter amount of time when it usually takes years for them to do this. And we also want to lower the cost of the whole process in general. Instead of thousands, we want to lower that cost down to hundreds.
In the beginning, Zuri had to go through multiple queries and professional editors to actually get her manuscript edited and ready to publish. Now, this took her months and a lot of money out of her income to actually be able to accomplish. With our product, PenPath, we make the process much more seamless. We use copy editing and developmental editing as our main features, and copy editing involves grammar and punctuation editing, while developmental editing, which we will be following, includes plot and character analysis and the structure within them. People like Zuri can now upload their manuscript and go to Quill. Will be provided a summary of their feedback and will be able to purchase their full feedback and fully edited manuscript. Now, our revenue model is a pay-per-use model, which ranges from $30 to $250 depending on the type of editing and the length of your manuscript. Before that, as I mentioned before, we'll be provided a free summary of your purchased manuscript, and a free revision will also be provided. Any revisions after that will cost from $10 to $30. Our market consists from the self-published authors, which are currently around 2.3 million self-published authors, and we specifically aim to target the fictional authors, around 365,000 self-published fiction authors, and we aim to acquire 30% of those self-published authors. And with our average services costing around $140, we hope to acquire $15.3 million in revenue. And you might be wondering, why fiction? Well, fiction has been going exponentially for the past few years. And as a market, it's been one of the fastest growing genres out there. And our main competitor, Excel Book Writing, which is a publishing processing company, and an indirect competitor, which is Grammarly, which is an AI platform which focuses on editing any kind of writing. ChatGPT, which is an AI chatbot that queries almost any kind of request.
With these competitors in mind, let me tell you why PenPath stands out. Excel book writing uses solely human editors, which is not only costly, but takes longer. In fact, A copy edit by Excel would take around 2 to 3 weeks on average. PenPath uses mainly AI for editing along with a human checker. That means we can take the length of editing down from weeks to days. Grammarly has tone indicators to help with writer's voice, but since creative writing is a lot more complex in terms of voice, it's not really an accurate measure. PenPath can account for that and make sure your voice and your characters really shine. ChatGPT is a great editor, but it has one crucial flaw, and that the word count you can use for your prompts is very low. PenPath has unlimited word count, which means you can edit your book in one go, saving you a lot of time. So now that you know a little bit about us and PenPath, let me tell you why PenPath is great for this market right now. Publishing has been booming lately. Over the last 5 years, the number of self-publishing authors has grown over 264%, and it's still growing. 3 million titles hit the shelves last year in 2023. Also, how many of you have bought a book off of Amazon? That's not surprising, considering 70% of readers have noted on doing so. Coincidentally, a lot of self-published authors publish on Amazon. That means if a lot of self-published authors come onto our platform, we'll also get a big share of Amazon's book market. So how are we going to do this? In our go-to-market plan, our phase 1 is going to consist of generating basic interest. We are going to be doing that through targeted ads on social media like Instagram and TikTok. We find that most of our potential users frequent those sites. We're aiming to get 1K users by the end of that quarter. In phase 2, we are going to be refining our editor based on user feedback. We hope by creating a more quality product, we can attract more users. We hope to have 5K users at this point. In phase 3, we are going to have 10K users by partnering with different offers. By having 10K users multiplied by our average revenue, we are hoping to make 1 million that year. Finally, we are going to be branching our AI editor to nonfiction and poetry so that we can take advantage of the full self-publishing market, which will take our annual revenue from 15 million to almost 100 million. And lastly, the big question, how are we going to be funding this? That's where you guys come in. PenPath is asking for 250K, 80K for marketing, 100K for product development, 50K for operations, and 20K for reserve.
Join us in creating a world where authors like Zuris have all the tools that they need to access their resources so that they can lead to new opportunities for success in creative expression. Thank you. Let's connect.
You all did great. It was awesome. Okay, so I have one question and one idea. I'll start with the idea first and the question next. You all mentioned making money and how long it takes to make money. I'm curious if you all consider sort of bounties or a Web3 sort of NFT-based micro stories that authors could publish so that they can start to like fund themselves before they produce some 20-chapter book.
Can you repeat your question again? I'm sorry.
In terms of finding ways for an author to make money on their journey to building a full book, so reducing the time that it takes while making money, actually going through your journey, did you run into the possibility for NFTs or like web technology leverage so that people could make money from their creative work while they're building towards their ultimate goal?
We wanted to mainly focus on getting authors the resources that they need to get published, whether that's traditionally or self-published. So we were mainly focused on editing, so the idea of like NFTs never really came up.
And then my second one was for the way you're feeding the book to the model so that it's able to be done in one go, where you said ChatGPT has a limitation.
Okay, so as mentioned earlier, when you say feeding, like, what do you mean by that? Like, do you mean as a learning model or?
So in terms of like the prompts and the conversations that you could have to ChatGPT, eventually you get to the edge where it says you can't talk anymore because you've reached the limit of your context window. And then you all mentioned how the book would be edited in one go. I'm curious
We plan to have like an unlimited word count. So that's like the main thing we have compared to ChatGPT is that where like it doesn't matter the length of your manuscript, you can have your thing fully edited in one go. And compared to ChatGPT, which requires multiple queries, and at some point, like you said, it goes down and you can't chat with them anymore, we plan to have it all centered in one like document, so the structure doesn't change.
Has there been thought of when I check out being connected to graphic artists, being able to get the cover, the full package?
Interestingly enough, our main goal for PenPath was to be kind of this one-stop shop for self-published authors. So we were initially going to be doing editing and design, which includes the things that you mentioned. But because of our MVP, we had to cut that feature out. But that's definitely in the future.
Great job on the presentation. What makes the three of you uniquely qualified to make this successful?
The three of us are actually aspiring authors, especially I know Deborah has already kind of started her own journey. She's a little more ahead of all of us. But we actually all have plans on putting out work in the future. But because, like we said, there's so much time that goes into this, we're not able to do that right now. Thank you.
All right, great job. Our next group has created a social media management tool that aims to simplify the marketing processes for everyone from individual marketers to large digital marketing agencies. Let's welcome Social with Morgan, Patrick, and Eli.
Hi, we're Social, and we're here today to show you that as the social media marketplaces grow, digital marketers need a more efficient tool to help keep up. I first want to introduce the team. My name is Patrick Haley. I'm a rising junior at the University of Pennsylvania, majoring in cognitive science, and I'm the product manager of Social.
My name is Eli Talima. I'm a rising junior at Penn State, majoring in information technology, and I'm a UI/UX designer for Social.
And my name is Morgan Stewart. I am a senior at Temple University. My major is information science and technology. I am also the web developer of Social.
So first, I want to start with some statistics to give you context for why we started Social. Everyone knows how big social media is, and it continues to grow. In the past 4 years, Instagram has more than doubled its annual user base, reaching almost 2.5 billion users. And TikTok has more than 8 times the users it had 6 years ago. As social media continues to grow in size, it also grows in channel variety. It's no longer just a quick post or keeping up with your friends on vacation. It's everything from fitness advice to sports news to political broadcast. And what we're here today to talk about, the marketplace. As the social media marketplaces grow, businesses are recognizing the profitability and the idea that they can target their customers on these social media sites at a reduced cost compared to normal advertising revenues. In the last 6 years, businesses have spent more than 9 times the amount on ads on Instagram. This sounds like a great thing, and it is. However, there's an issue. The digital creators tasked with the content creation and product promotion on these sites are falling behind due to inefficient tools. I want you to meet Jeff. I want you to meet Jeff, a social media marketer at a large digital marketing agency. On average, Jeff is losing 16 hours per week to routine tasks, such as emails, sifting through reports, and managing his different platforms and tools. This is crucial time for Jeff to lose, as he deals with time-sensitive work. For example, Instagram's decay time is 6 hours, which means if Jeff posts for a brand at noon, by 7 p.m. that night, his post is no longer considered relevant, no longer being pushed onto people's For You pages, and in Instagram's algorithm's eyes, considered decayed. This is where social comes in.
So I'm going to walk you through how social will solve Jeff's problem. Like we mentioned before, a major pain point for Jeff is that he's losing 16 hours a week performing routine tasks like switching platforms or monitoring the multiple channels he's been assigned. With social's account integration tool, Jeff can manage the multiple social media accounts of his clients. Jeff also needs a quick turnaround for his posts. He also needs a place, it's coming boys, there it is. He also needs a place to post ahead of time and for multiple accounts, whether he's in or out of office. Say Copa Banana wants to run an ad for their seasonal special on July 13th, but Jeff is out of office at a conference. With Social's Drafty Post tool, all Jeff has to do is choose the brand, the platform, the date and time he will be out of office, and then schedule his post. Jeff is also working at a larger agency. Due to working at a larger agency, his calendar can quickly become cluttered. You're going to see this calendar soon. There we go. Jeff's calendar. Jeff doesn't have much going on this month, but normally Jeff's calendar is very cluttered, leaving his marketing goals unclear. With Social's brand organization tool, Jeff can filter through what brand he wants to see on whichever platform for whatever month he has his post planned for.
As Morgan has shown how Jeff, a social media marketer, could benefit from social, I now want to introduce Claire, a small business owner. Now Claire runs her own cafe and also runs the social media accounts for her cafe, and like Jeff, would benefit from social. On average, Claire is losing 6 hours a week to social media marketing, which, if you consider that she's averaging 50-hour work weeks, assuming that's just her work week and not including family time or anything outside of that, she has very little time to spare. Through our Schedule a Post tool, we've streamlined the posting process, meaning Claire can post more easily, more frequently, and at different times throughout the day, meaning whether she's on her phone to post or if she's interacting with customers, her accounts stay active. In addition, 93% of small business owners like Claire have stated that they've run into confusion or obstacles with the social media marketing process. Through account integration and brand organization, we aim to simplify this process for them, allowing them to focus on the part of the work they truly enjoy. We've created 3 subscription plans to accommodate for Claire, Jeff, and anyone in between. Claire would likely benefit from the individual plan, where for $125 a month, she would receive 1 social employee account and total access to social's features, meaning she wouldn't miss out on any of the brand's benefits. Jeff, on the other hand, would likely fall under the enterprise plan, where his parent agency, for a custom price, could purchase the custom amount of necessary accounts. In addition, they would receive priority and customer support. And in between, we have a small team plan, where for a reduced price of $1,000 a month, they would receive 10 employee accounts.
We developed a revenue plan based on our market. Based on the annual amount spent on marketing tools, both individual marketers and digital marketing agency had total annual recurring revenue of $7.2 billion split evenly. Within that, we wanted to occupy 20% of individual marketers, giving us a target share of $720 million, and wanted to occupy 30% of digital marketing agency, giving us a target share of 1.1 billion, giving us a total market size of 1.82 billion. Within our market, we have competitors. Sprout Social that focuses on scheduling content, although it tends to be overcomplicated. Then we have Brand Watch that focuses on social listening rather than scheduling content. Compared to our competitors, we offer affordability based on our low subscription price of $112 a month. And we also offer user-friendly interface and intuitive product.
So now that you know how we differ from our competitors, let's talk about our target customer, large digital marketing agencies. 85% of these agencies focus on social media. Of those 85%, they are working with, on average, 10 to 20 brands, each branding having 5 to 10 social media accounts. And larger agencies tend to host between 40 to over 100 employees, these employees being being social media marketers, our end user.
Although one of our target customers are digital marketing agencies, we wanted to create a go-to-market plan to emphasize our growth. First, we have our pre-launch phase where we'll target 100 individual marketers on the wait list while advertising using email marketing in the greater Philadelphia area, as well as marketing at conferences to promote our brand. Then we have our launch phase where we'll target individual marketers as well as small agencies striving for a goal of 100 individual subscriptions and 10 team plans while marketing ourselves using content on Instagram and Facebook. Then we go on to lastly, our post-launch phase where we'll target large agencies striving for a goal of 200 individual plans, 50 team plans, and 10 enterprise plans while marketing ourselves organically.
To implement our go-to-market plan, we're asking for $300,000. We've allocated $125,000 to product development, which would be used to hire an additional developer to flesh out previously existing features, as well as build out new features onto our website. We've also allocated $75,000 to marketing, which, like Eli laid out, would be used for digital ads, boosted social media ads, and potentially hiring a sales rep in phase 3 to set up meetings with large digital marketing agencies. And the remaining $100,000 would be used for operating expenses and reserve funds.
With the use of our funds, we want to achieve our vision. Social wants to build a future where we can connect businesses with customers while simplifying the process for social media marketers. So thank you for listening to Social and what we envision in the world of social media management today. So remember, all your socials, all your brands, all made easy.
Great presentation. Question that I have, I'm going to make a few assumptions, and you can let me know if your research proves me wrong. So I think I agree and assume that for small business owners, time savings is going to be the biggest benefit for them, right? They're running things on their own. But for agencies, what they actually care about is showing their clients the effectiveness of their work. A client doesn't really care that you did the work a little bit faster. They care about ROI. So how do you think your app will help the agency audience specifically prove the effectiveness to their customers?
So right now we have a kind of a bare minimum analytics feature that shows the interaction and the engagement that you have with your recent post, as well as ranking your posts in terms of strongest, as in a percentage of the engagement of people that viewed it and versus people that didn't engage as they saw it. But like I mentioned, I think that would be one of the features we would build out more upon. And that's also one of the biggest risks I think that we'd run into is that sometimes tried to work with Twitter, and they're very expensive to pull data from. So I think that's kind of like a further down the line feature for us.
Thanks.
I have a comment / feedback and then a question to go with it. So you have large agencies as your core customer, correct? So your customer is never the entity or the company. Your customer is who in the company you're selling to. Someone has to pay for it. That's who your customer is. Can you describe to me who the person in the company that you're selling to is?
Yeah, so it's a mix of IT heads and execs. And so we actually, through our usability test, we've connected with a couple social media marketers who say that they were saying that they often pitch to their leaders or their executives, and then from there, the executives will go through a demo. And so most likely when we reach the large agency part of our go-to-market plan, that's why I mentioned setting up a sales rep, because they want demos with the people actually paying for it, but normally it's pitched by the people that are actually using it, so our end users pitching to our target customers within the company.
So where do you see this company in 5 years?
In 5 years, I would see us having an analytics feature, an AI feature, and pushing towards large digital marketing agency across the US. I think as of right now, we want to stay in Philly and really target the small businesses, but in terms of expansion, I think it's easily scalable to the point that we could expand out west and throughout the US very easily.
So you mentioned pulling from Twitter being expensive. Are you managing all of the connections directly to the social media services, or are you using a platform like Buffer that could possibly handle those integrations for you?
It's me. I believe. Oh, that's a good question. I know in terms of getting insights from Twitter, it was a bit difficult, so I had to pull away from Twitter because a minimum of $100 is something I'm not too fond of parting with, just to get my own insights. Facebook's back end is a bit iffy, to put it that way, a bit difficult to deal with. In terms of what development, sort of what environment we are pulling that information from, I believe, if I'm answering your question correctly, we would store that information on like a serverless database, Redis, for example. That's what I've been using. I use that as just to sort of test whether or not I can even just make a post on Instagram, for example. It works, but again, it's if Facebook owns Instagram and their back end is difficult to deal with. So to answer your question, Redis, that's kind of how we use to sort of just store that information and display it to the user. In terms of security and authentication, again, Redis, it's a great way to just keep our users' data secure, keep all of those multiple channels, multiple accounts that people are going to be linking in or signing out or whatever they decide to do. Just managing those multiple social media accounts, that's how we plan on sort of dealing with that, just if that's a decent question. But our time is up. Thank you guys again. And remember, this is social. All your socials, all your brands, all made easy. Thank you.
You got the clicker. Great job, guys. Our next group is a group of individuals seeking to bridge the accessibility between contractors and landlords. This 4-person team, Sloka, Tasnim, Julian, and Jayla, are excited to present their project, Reparo. Are you coming yet? I'm not a part of the presentation. He controls the slides.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. The main goal of our company, Reparo, is to seamlessly connect both landlords and contractors to one centralized mobile platform. My name is Sloka Samantula, and I'm the product manager.
My name is Jayla Afif and I'm the UI UX designer.
My name is Tasnim Salam, and I'm the web developer.
My name is Julian Dean. I'm one of the other web developers. Growing up, I watched my family struggle to find affordable and reliable contractors to renovate our newly bought property. Because of this, I want to revolutionize residential property management by seamlessly connecting landlords and contractors, fostering trust and efficiency in every project. Going back to my parents, around 80% of landlords struggle to find affordable, skilled workers for property maintenance, facing issues with inconsistent pricing and work quality. This is what it looks like.
So I want you to meet Bill. He's a residential landlord, and recently he's been losing money due to the overpriced prices that contractors are offering. And he's been struggling to find reasonably priced and high-quality contractors. Next, I want you to meet John Hill. He's a contractor, and he's been struggling to find adequate work. He also finds it really difficult to manage multiple jobs at once. This is why we created Reparo.
Reparo is a centralized app that allows for residential landlords to connect with contractors and for contractors to post their services. When Bill first opens the app, he'll see the home screen, which has different categories on it. When he clicks on one of those categories, he'll see a list of contractors, and he can book one of them for a service. The contractor side looks a bit different because we wanted to cater to each user's individualized needs. So John has a dashboard instead of a home screen, which shows him his current and past jobs. When he clicks on the plus sign, he can post a new job where he'll add his availability and his skill sets, and then landlords can connect with him. Now that we've shown you both sides of the app, we want to show you how Bill would book a job. So first, he would enter the details of the job, and then the contractor will get a notification. They will either accept or decline the job. Once it's accepted, Bill will have to enter his payment details, and the payment will pend until the job is completed. Once Bill has completed all of these steps, he'll be able to contact the contractor if he has any further details to discuss.
So how many people can we really help? Well, in the USA, our total market size is 27.4 million, 20 million being landlords and 7.4 million being contractors. If we can capture 30% of the market in the USA, it would be 6 million in total. And in Philadelphia, that's 70,000, 55,000 being landlords and 15,000 being contractors. If we can capture 30% of Philadelphia's market size, it would be 21,000 in total.
So for a problem that affects close to 27.4 million people in the United States, what has been done to combat this issue thus far? This leads us to our competitors. Out of all the companies we researched, we recognize All Better as our direct competitor, as they were also a mobile platform, and their core feature was the basic functionality of tracking customers. With All Better, you would have to differentiate between two different apps when downloading, which wasn't concise nor efficient. Alongside Latchel, an online platform that specializes in property management, which was too broad. Shortly, we will discuss how this doesn't align with our unique value proposition. So with these two flawed capabilities, we wanted to create a mobile platform that specialized in residential planning. So what makes this different from the other competitors on the market? As previously mentioned, we wanted to specialize in residential housing for a number of reasons. In general, there will always be a steady demand in the housing market, especially with the recent decreasing in housing prices in Philadelphia. From this time last year to now, there has been a 4% decrease in housing prices. Additionally, when owning a residential property as a landlord, it's significantly easier than owning industrial or commercial, as there is a lack of specialized knowledge needed for things such as insurance, tax rates, etc. So there's definitely a need for this type of market specialization. So after conducting thorough usability testing and market research, we found a need from contractors and landlords within the greater Philadelphia region for a centralized app. For time-with professions such as landlording and contracting, it's important to optimize the work that they do. The Philadelphia housing market has also been in demand, as the average turnover rate for a house is 16 days. This metric is used to measure how long a house is on the market. Additionally, the 2016 to 2022 Philadelphia construction boom further emphasizes the problem, as there was more than 64,000 building permits issued in the Philadelphia area. So what does implementation of our product look like?
During the pre-launch phase, we want to gauge interest by obtaining 250 landlord and 250 contractor signups. To do this, we're going to use a contact strategy where we'll post testimonials and how-tos. Our target is millennial landlords and contractors. During the launch, we want to use cold email outreach to gain 10,000 unique properties after launching in August of 2025. And we're going to target individual homeowners. In the post-launch, we want to use partnerships to gain 500 more unique properties, this time targeting landlord associations. We want to have a 70% retention rate of past users and expand to the Northeast US. Our app is a marketplace, and with each transaction that occurs, we want to take a 5% fee. So, each year, a homeowner on average will spend $16,000 on home maintenance and repairs. If we get 10,000 users, that would be $160 million. Since we're only taking 5%, our net revenue would end up being $8 million.
In order to put our go-to-market plan in place, we're asking for $300,000 in funds. We want to use $105,000 for product development to develop our product consistently and concisely. We want to use $60,000 for operations. We want to use $90,000 to reach our potential customers, and we want to keep $45,000 for reserve.
At Reparo, we aim to create a world where every landlord, including yourself, can connect with the right contractor. Join us in revolutionizing residential property management. Reparo, your maintenance matchmaker. These are our LinkedIns, if you want to.
Please connect with us.
Great job. I'm sorry. Great job. On the landlord side, I didn't see like safety. And so I saw 60,000 in operations. So how much would that be for insurances, and what are your projections? Have you researched any type of security issues with the other competitors?
So in terms of security, one feature that you have when you sign up is you have to be certified. You have to be considered a certified landlord or contractor. So in terms of, on the contractor side, you have to be recognized by the General Attorney's Office as a contractor. So you upload your certification, and then it takes our services 24 hours to verify that, and then only after that can you move ahead with the rest of the signing up process.
So you built the insurances in the operating costs?
Yes.
Okay.
Question about maybe the marketplace chicken and egg balance. How many contractors would you need in a certain location? Sort of the contractor to property ratio. Have you seen that, like maybe time to a contractor getting to a location, similar to like if I'm buying a Lyft or Uber, it's like 8 minutes and your ride will be here. What's the duration for a contractor to get to the property, and how many contractors do you need in that space?
So when landlords book a contractor, when they're looking for a service and they click on a specific service, it gives you a list of different contractors, and you can see the contractor in detail, and it shows their location and how far away they are from you.
How did you validate your pricing model?
Meaning our revenue model. So we were in between a couple. We thought that taking a 5% cut was something that worked the best with our pricing model, as our main goal was to ensure that contractors were able to set adequate prices based on what they deemed as fit. So ensuring that landlords aren't being overcharged for their services, and contractors to also being able to set their own pricing. We did a lot of usability testing within Philadelphia to see how contractors set their prices.
Just really quickly, can you tell us how
TaskRabbit is like that website where you can, what is TaskRabbit?
So TaskRabbit, you can, it's an app where you can go on for different services. So if you need someone to come and fix a window, you want them to, do general contracting around the house. So I'm just curious to see how your model differentiates from a TaskRabbit, and then why you may or may not, I'm making the assumption that you left out the traditional homeowner out of your model in terms of, being a customer of your app.
We're not focusing on homeowners specifically, we're focusing on more residential landlords, so people who will buy homes and then rent them out. So we're trying to, so it's harder for landlords when they own like multiple properties to find contractors. So using TaskRabbit isn't like as good if you need like more serious contractor work done. Because as you said, it's like for like simple tasks. If you're a landlord, you might want to have like an entire home renovation, and I don't think TaskRabbit does that. So we want to focus more on like that kind of scene, like landlords, not just people who own like a single home. Does that make sense?
To go off of that, we're also a double-sided marketplace, so as much as we're benefiting contractors, we're also helping landlords find adequate service jobs. So we want to appeal to both parties, and that's why we thought that it was important to specialize in specifically residential landlords.
So given that, how do renters fit in? So most landlords, they might have a contract that specifies that you can't show up at a rental property without giving your renter 24 hours notice. So how does the renter fit into this process?
So when you're booking an appointment, there's timing, or we have a feature within our app that you can decide when you would schedule an appointment, and then after that scheduling, it appears on both parties' sites, so you can ensure that after you schedule it, it's within the calendar and there's enough time before the appointment to confirm. Okay, thank you.
All right, great job. Now we welcome our final presentation of the afternoon. Imagine waking up and feeling like your most beautiful self because of a simple tap of your finger. And we are not talking about Facetune or any of those Instagram filters, right? No. So welcome to Boutique, where they connect beauty freelancers with clients seamlessly, making the world a more beautiful place, one appointment at a time. Give it up for Boutique. Hajer, Sophie, and Nitin.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. We are Boutique, the place where beauty is made easy. As you may all know or may not know yet, entrepreneurship has been growing exponentially across the world with an overwhelming 42% increase from pre-pandemic levels just in the USA alone. Now you may be wondering, how does this relate to beauty at all? With these growing entrepreneurship trends, many beauticians have started to work independently. As of the year 2024, there are approximately 490 million people across the world that book beauty services done by freelancers just through forms of social media alone, like Instagram. Now imagine how big that number is if we include freelancing websites. And though this is a good thing, many of these people find beauty freelancers through personal connections, as beauty freelancers are typically family members or close friends. So say if you've never gone to a beauty freelancer before or want to switch it up and try out a new one. This then can be very difficult with the endless search online. I know personally when I was looking for a beauty freelancer on Instagram, I was overwhelmed with the lack of resources and the little communication that there was, so I gave up. However, with Boutique, we bring beauty right to your fingertips. Whether you're searching for the perfect hairstylist or a new nail artist, Boutique makes booking your next beauty appointment effortless and stress-free. Now you may be wondering, what exactly is Boutique? Boutique is a customer relationship management website that connects beauty professionals such as hairstylists, nail artists, waxers, barbers, etc. to potential customers. The beauty freelancers can list their services and certifications for authentications purposes. Their customers can easily search, book, and pay in a matter of minutes. And the best part is that we only take 3% of the beauty freelancers' earnings. Hello everyone, my name is Hajar Goma. I'm the product manager for Boutique. I'm currently a sophomore at MIT studying mechanical engineering and biomechanics.
Hi everyone, I'm Sophie Mattil. I am the UI UX designer for Boutique, and I'm going to be a senior at Temple University studying computer science.
Hello everyone, my name is Nitin Njimori. I am the developer at Boutique, and I'm an upcoming sophomore at the University of Maryland studying computer science and general business. And so I just want to start off by saying, at Boutique, we believe in a world where beauty freelancers can effectively and affordably list their services online, connecting directly with clients for seamless marketing and discovery.
Sadly, this is not the case yet. Meet Sam Bright. Sam is your typical 24-year-old, and once a month he likes to get his nails done. Sometimes he likes to switch it up and support small businesses, so he searches for nail technicians through Instagram and or Booksy. However, Sam spends endless amount of hours searching for a local nail technician that fits his standards. Additionally, Sam does not feel comfortable booking through Instagram as there are scams and leaks. So in the end, Sam feels defeated and loses the joy of getting his nails done. I would also like you to meet Britt, who has her own business called Nails by Britt. Britt typically works out of her home and by herself. For promotional purposes, Britt uses Instagram to boost her business. However, her profile and posts only get so many views. Personalized algorithms on Instagram make it hard for Britt to push out her content and attract new customers. Additionally, Britt does not have the income to subscribe to expensive freelancing websites to gain more visibility.
So we personally reached out to beauty freelancers like Britt and customers like Sam to understand their experiences using social media. We found that without the help of close friends and family, beauty freelancers like Britt would essentially have no visibility. Sam would most likely never find Britt's services because they don't run in the same circles. Our research also supported that online, and it shows that social media algorithms often hinder the growth of beauty freelancers and access to new customers.
And that's where Boutique would come in. Our goal is to offer a centralized platform for beauty freelancers to list and promote their services. We want technicians to be easily visible and accessible by the public. We want their customers to no longer have to spend hours worrying about whether or not a service is good, bad, or if it's even safe. And so at Boutique, we want our customers like Sam to be able to book and pay with security. And we want our freelancers to be able to list their services online and view their own profile analytics. Let me show you what that looks like. So as soon as Sam would first log into Boutique, he can use the search bar and filter the results to show services that best suit his needs. And after finding the service that he likes the most, he can put his credit card information in and he can book right there and then. As a beauty freelancer, someone like Britt would be able to view their monthly revenue, the impressions, and the click-through rates over time. Additionally, they could also boost their profile, which puts their profile at the top of the search results page for a price. And finally, they can start promotions as well, overall boosting business growth. And finally, beauty freelancers have their own calendar, which is one way to track appointments and clients on one space. Additionally, this calendar can connect to existing calendars for a seamless workplace integration.
You may have guessed it, but our product is targeted towards two groups of people, the beauty freelancers and their customers. Through research, we found out that there are approximately 10 million people in the US that fit within our target user groups, and that there are maybe 7 to 8 million of these users that suffer from this problem. And in the Philadelphia area alone, we are looking to onboard more than 10,000 users onto Boutique, and this would include both target user groups. With each direct transaction made, we would take 3 to 6% in fees depending on if a business is boosted or not. Our revenue model prioritizes helping beauty freelancers actually grow their business. With approximately 120,000 transactions in the Philadelphia area, we are looking at about $3.6 million in potential revenue for only 1 year. And to ensure that we are properly taking revenue, we will enact profile monitoring, restrictions, and fines on suspicious activity.
So through this, we hope to connect with over 10 million users across the US and gain access to a $2.88 billion market.
So in this market, we have two main competitors, Booksy and Instagram. Booksy is similar to Boutique in that it connects beauty freelancers with customers. However, it uses a subscription-based model for the beauty freelancers, along with many hidden fees as well. Additionally, Booksy isn't only meant for the beauty industry, as they have services pertaining to the dental industry and the pet industry as well. Instagram is our indirect competitor, as many beauty freelancers use Instagram as their main source of marketing and advertisement. However, it's because of Instagram's personalized algorithms that make it very hard for these beauty freelancers to actually list their services online and promote themselves out there. And this ultimately hinders their visibility and makes it hard for them to grow.
However, Boutique is different. Boutique innovates the beauty industry by offering a commission-only marketplace where beauty freelancers can effortlessly promote their services, keeping 97% of their earnings. Our features and functionality prioritizes that visibility and accessibility that is currently missing in the market.
And so our plan to bridge this gap in the market consists of 3 different phases. In the first phase, we want to generate traction for Boutique through marketing strategies such as cold emails, a social media presence, as well as community outreach. And in the first phase, we'd like around 500 beauty freelancers to sign up on our waitlist in the greater Philadelphia area. And after a smooth onboarding process into phase 2, in phase 2, we'd actually like a tested and viable product of Boutique. And in this case, we would like around 10,000 users with a lower customer acquisition cost of around $10. And finally, in phase 3, we would focus on user experience and we would like a consistent use of the website. And in this phase, we would like a retention rate of around 70% and a market share of around 20%, all while having an emphasis on content marketing.
So we are raising $300,000 for the product to advance product development for Boutique and increase market shares while attaining $20,000 or 20,000 users and $600,000 in annual recurring revenue by Q3 of 2025.
At Boutique, we have one sole purpose, and that is to connect beauty freelancers and customers. So please join us in creating a world where everyone can feel beautiful. Thank you. Also, feel free to scan the QR codes if you wish to connect with us on LinkedIn.
So, I appreciated your competitive analysis. It seemed like mostly apps, and I did see that you brought up Instagram, but how do you see yourself competing with or differentiating from Google businesses, where someone could search for a nail salon or a nail, anyone who basically sets up a Google My Business and potentially book directly in the search engine?
Do you mean not people who are beauty freelancers, but established businesses?
Technically, but you could create your own Google My Business for free just by signing up for it, getting a postcard to your house saying that your house is a business.
Sorry, could you elaborate more on the question?
Sure. If I wanted to today, I could go to Google My Business and I could say that I run a business out of my house.
Yes.
And I could create a listing on Google where people could, set up services based on that Google My Business listing. How do you see yourself competing with or differentiating from those types of listings on Google, which would be free to a user?
We have since we're working with a two-sided market, we also want to prioritize the customers that are actually getting services done by people who work out of their homes. So we want to establish that sense of security. We did do some research. You do have to have I believe a certification or some sort of business certification if you want to work out of your home. So we want to kind of discourage people from I don't know, sketchy beauty services or scams. So we really are focusing on that security for the customer and using that to attract them more into our platform.
That's a great question. And I just want to elaborate on that and basically say that, compared to Google, Boutique is its own platform. And I think that is one of its advantages, because when you go on Boutique, you are looking for beauty services. And Google doesn't, Google is for everything, right? Additionally, because you have to enlist your house or whatever as a business, it can discourage users from actually doing that. But with Boutique, it's pretty seamless. In order to create your own freelancer profile, all you have to do is just put your services on there, put a few pictures, and put any certifications that you may need. Yeah. Thank you.
Quick question. So my question was, because these are beaufluencers, which are just people on Instagram, how are you looking to scale them to be better at their business skills? Because this is a platform and you're getting people from Instagram who need to learn how to scale. So how are you going to scale them, and what are the threats and risks of just signing up beautyfluencers?
In terms of scaling, we want to add more features to our product that will encourage both users to sign up on the platform and continuously use it. So in terms of that, that would be a communities page or forums. And then regarding your question about risk, we want to have emphasis on content marketing. So we did a competitor analysis, and we learned that a lot of these small growing businesses kind of benefit from having a spotlight or shouting out. So we want to use Instagram in a way to uplift businesses and show people who haven't even seen Boutique or signed up for it, that these businesses are growing and that they're learning. And that was also something that we could possibly add, where it's more information on how to grow your business.
So my question is really around the severity of the problems. You have two types of problems.
Yes.
You have problems that need a painkiller because they're really severe, and then you have problems that need a vitamin because it may be a problem that's not super severe. How did you validate how severe this problem, or how necessary this problem really is to the people you target?
So in reference to both user types, we conducted usability testing on people now that use Instagram to sort of market their services, and only Instagram. So they could have this as a side business, or it's their actual source of income. And we talked to them about how they feel about posting on Instagram. Do they think they're gaining visibility or traction? And most of them told us, even though we're not assuming all people told us, but most of them told us that they got visibility because family members or friends shared their post, and then people that know them saw their post, and that's how they sort of grew. But they didn't have a boom of business just because they posted on Instagram. And then on the customer side, we contacted people that use Instagram to book nail services and hair services. Talked about them about how booking these appointments are, and most of them told us that they're okay with booking the appointments because they know the people, and then some told us that because they didn't know the person, it was kind of sketchy, but they took the risk and there was nothing wrong with it. But there's always that risk mitigation that we're trying to yeah. Okay, thank you.
Put this here. Okay, can we give a hand for all of our wonderful presenters this afternoon? Great job, guys. Before we close, are there any final remarks from our judges for the participants for today?
Great job. Y'all are absolutely awesome. If I started, or if I was even close to where y'all are, going through the next 5 to 10 years of your career should be super easy now. So, shout out to y'all.
amazing job. And if I had some money, I would definitely invest in some of what you guys presented today. Really did your research, really great job, and I hope you all continue.
All right, again, thank you all again for joining us this afternoon. We are so thrilled we had a chance to dive deeper into the presentations. Again, can we give a hand for our participants and our interns this summer? Really quickly, we do want to thank again our sponsors for today's event: JP Morgan Chase, Comcast, NBC Universal, Salesforce, Comic Relief, the NBA Foundation, Sierra Interactive for their space as well, SCI, and Infinite Blue. Can we give a hand for our sponsors? People that keep the lights on, right. And shout out to our wonderful team leads. Can we give our team leads a hand again for the great job that they did? And also, this isn't in my cards, but just looking around the room and seeing the support that came out, you know, I played sports as a kid, so it was always cool to see parents come out to support the kids and support the kids playing in the program. But it's really cool to see friends and family coming out for an event like this. So can we give a hand for our friends and family who made it out today on a Thursday afternoon in Northern Liberties? That's right. All right, so we will have the space available till 4 p.m. for you to be able to check out the rest of the exhibits. We would like for all of the interns to collect in the back of the room for a group picture. And congratulations again. Thank you again for coming out for the CBK Tech and Innovation Showcase, and we hope to see you next year. QR codes are around the room. If you're feeling generous, feel free to support Coded by Kids so we can continue this great programming. Thanks again for coming out. Woo! Great job, guys. Great job. Awesome job.